All right, you heard it. So let's jump right into it. So, for everybody that's tuned in today, welcome. I am really happy to have you here. And on today's agenda, we have a few different things. We're going to discuss who we are as Real Grader. We're going to go over some amazing digital marketing strategies and tips. We are going to do our famous hot seat. So, one of the agents that's tuned in today, I'm going to bring on live and we're going to do an audit of what your presence looks like online. I'm going to jump on Google and I'm going to see what the results are and see if what you have available online makes me feel comfortable doing business with you and makes me want to pull the trigger and having you as my real estate agent. And at the end, I'm going to offer everybody a really cool opportunity. If you're tuned in right now via Zoom, please make sure you know where the chat is so that when I'm asking you guys questions or you have any questions, vice versa, you make sure you communicate via the chat. And this presentation is very interactive. So if at any point I ask you guys any questions, make sure you answer them using the chat. Or if you have any questions during the training, make sure you ask me. I'm going to be free to stop, answer live. This is not just like a one-way street here, so it's super interactive. So to get started here, I'm going to go over who Real Grader is as a company. So we've been in the real estate industry 20 plus years, and as the digital space has changed, so have we. Obviously, we started off with, MLS integrated websites in the beginning of the real estate industry, but now I'm sure as many of you know, there are so many digital platforms associated with real estate that things have blown up. A little background on who I am. My name is Alex Ayub. I've been in the industry for many years, and I used to work as a digital marketing director for a few different brokerages before jumping on board with Real Grader and doing these trainings and public speakings across the US. I used to work directly with agents one on one at all these different brokerages and always was ahead of the curve when it came to any social media related updates, any real estate related opportunities on this digital space we live in now. And I've been ahead of the curve, so I'm very happy to go and pass this information on to you guys. Besides myself on this call, we also have another real estate tech expert. His name is Josh. So Josh, go ahead and say hey to everyone.
Hey guys, thanks for joining the webinar today. I love joining on these, helping out Alex with his presentation. So yeah, like you said, if you guys can participate in the chat, since we have a small group, it's great. Let's get to know you, be interactive, and you'll get a lot out of this training. And as also it's being recorded, anyone that's going to listen to the recording can definitely benefit a lot from this. So happy to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. So we got some messages coming in the chat. Hey, Josh, thanks for helping. We got it. See ya. So obviously times have changed with COVID going on. When COVID hit the real estate industry, a lot of agents reached out and said, man, what do I do? The traditional way of doing business is now not available for me. I'm a bit confused. What's going on here? Then I had some other agents reach out and go, Alex, this has been my best year ever. I'm crushing it now because everything is digital. When COVID hit the real estate industry, 2.1 million realtors were forced to go digital. What happens when real estate agents go from their traditional marketing and traditional efforts to digital is that there's a lot of misalignment, right? Getting adjusted to this new era, this new format, having to use social media for outreach, having to use Google as your backbone to show credibility and show your expertise to your potential clients is a bit confusing and a bit different sometimes. So if you're one of those agents that's a little confused on what platform should I be on, what information should I update on these platforms, what data do I need to show online to make sure I convert all of my potentials, whether you're getting them as leads or you get your business via referral, this always is going to help you expand your business. Also, when COVID popped up, we also got featured all over the place because our specialty was digital marketing for real estate and helping agents. So we got featured on the Real Deal, Inman, Realtor.com. So I'm sure some of you guys have already heard of us, and I'm really happy to be here with you. So I'm going to start off by asking all the agents on this call, how good is your digital presence? Have you thought about this lately? Have you actually Googled yourself and seeing what any of your potential clients sees when they want to do business with you. Is your digital presence something you own? Do you own it? Are you one of those agents that finishes talking to a potential client, they just make and go, yeah, go ahead, look me up. Find out what you need to find out about me to know that I'm a responsible and awesome, incredible real estate agent. Are you one of those agents that goes, yeah, go ahead, Google me. I'm a rock star. Or is it something that you're like, ooh, I hope this person doesn't check me out? You should never feel like that, right? This is your job. This is what you're supposed to be passionate about. And you got to represent that online because that's where everybody sees it. Everybody has access to Google. You know, make it even simpler. Before I go to a restaurant that I've never been to before, I jump on Google, I check out the menu. The first thing that pops up is this Google business page here where I see reviews, I see where they're at on the map. Like, I'm not going to be driving super far to if the restaurant's not worth it, right? So same thing goes for doing business, especially if it's something as important as real estate where somebody lives. So they're definitely going to be Googling you. So this is a really good example of what a real estate agent should be looking like online when they get Googled, right? You should have a strong presence. You should immediately see a Google business with your face. They get to know you. You're somebody approachable. They see your brokerage. They see your reviews. Then on the left hand side, they have access to all your other platforms where they have access to your sales data, who you are as a real estate agent, what your specialties are. Are you somebody that works with first time home buyers? Do you work with sellers? Do you work with senior citizens? Do you work with luxury? All this information should be easily available for me if I look you up. So if you think about it, Google made $181 billion last year, crazy. And out of that big budget, they invested $7 billion into real estate. This is how much Google is pushing the real estate industry now. They're really, really pushing this. So if Google's investing so much into real estate, think about what the other big portals' major budget allocation is. If you think about Zillow, what do you think Zillow's spending most of their budget on? They're positioning on Google, Realtor.com. They're spending most of their budget on their positioning on Google. So if the biggest players in the real estate industry are doing this, why wouldn't you guys spend time on focusing on getting your platforms that represent you, the Rockstar agents, on Google? So this is something you're going to want to think about. These are some of the questions I like to ask just when we start grasping this concept is, do you have a Google business page? Do you have reviews on this Google business page? Do you have the other essential real estate platforms? Are you on Google Local yet? These questions are something that always, always, always I like to start off by asking. I get a little feel, right? And now we're going to cover what the essential real estate platforms are. So this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see that Google business. You want to see your listings, your reviews, all the essential real estate platforms, Zillow, Facebook business, LinkedIn, right? So a little breakdown of what these results on Google are. The first one with your Google business shows you're a local agent. It actually pops up on Google Maps. So if somebody's going to be wanting to do business within your generic area, it shows that, hey, you're close by, you're easily accessible. You're not going to be somebody that's running off in the distance in the shadows. You're right here, you're close to home. Secondly, it has your reviews. What's really cool about Google business is, right, let's say you're not a top producer. Let's say you're somebody that's new in the industry. Actually, while I'm covering this topic, for everybody that's on the call, let me know in the chat how many years you've been a realtor. Let me know how many years you've been in the industry. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to answer in the chat. Like I said, I'm going to be asking you guys questions throughout this training. So let's check it out. So I think this is Samantha saying she's been in the industry 6 months, but I do not sell. Gotcha. Who else do we see? Christy says, I've been in the industry 7 months. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I see Sean on here as well. I see Clara. How long have you guys been in the industry? So far, we have Samantha with 6 months, Christy with 7. So some relatively new people in the real estate industry. Claire says 6 years. Okay, good. Awesome. So the reason I asked you guys is whether you've been someone like Clara that's been in the industry 6 years, or you're brand new with Google Business, which is a free platform. All you need to do is verify that you're actually in that location. So in your Keller Williams office, if you can show up in person and, you know, pick up a piece of mail and confirm it's you, you can have a Google Business for free, right? This platform allows you to get reviews without transactions. So if you're a new real estate agent and you're not super transaction heavy, this is the first and only platform that's going to allow you to build up your credibility. Because on Zillow.com or on Realtor.com, the people that review you have to be transactions. They have to be sales you've had in the past. With this platform, it's actually going to allow you to get non-transactional reviews, which means your friends can review you, your family can review you, your colleagues at Keller Williams can review you. Everybody can review you here. So this is going to be a game changer for many agents and establishing that credibility off the bat, right? Secondly, if you have listings available, you're going to want to make sure that they're displayed not only on just Zillow, but also on Realtor, Homes.com, Google Business, your bios and your content. The content you want to have, does it align with your potential clients? Is this content going to add value to your potential clients? Right? Are your clients going to see your content and go, oh, wow, I didn't know about this new bar or this new restaurant in Charleston? These are things you want to think about. Does your bio depict who you are as a realtor? Does it say, oh, these are my main neighborhoods of business? Does your bio disclose what neighborhoods you're an expert in? Does your buyer display what type of clients you've worked with, right? These are all things you want to put in those bios too. So these are the essential real estate platforms. Why are these the essential ones? Because these are the ones that have the highest amount of real estate related transactions and the highest amount of lead generation for the industry. So Realtor.com, LinkedIn, Facebook Business, Instagram Business, Zillow, Homes.com, right? All of these platforms are going to be essential. And I have agents, you know, Keller Williams agents across the US, that each one of these different platforms benefits them in a different way. I have some agents that go, you know, I've generated over 100 leads this year on Realtor. Some agents tell me 100% of my business comes from Instagram Business, right? Others tell me, yeah, I've got most of my deals from Homes.com because it's so easy to use. So every one of these free platforms, because these are completely free, all you got to do is, hey, make your account just like you'd make an account for anything else, are opportunities for you as real estate agents. So if you don't have a platform, you're missing the opportunity, which is huge. If you tell me, hey, I get this, you know, I get the chance to close a deal for free, and then you can multiply that by 8, why not do all of them? They're all free, right? So I'm going to ask you guys, from these 8 platforms, let's say you were to give yourself a grade on 1 to 100. So your Realtor.com, do you have one? Okay, but if you do have one, does it have your information updated? Does your Zillow display how many sales you've had all time? Do you have a Homes.com? So out of these 8 essential platforms, what would you grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 100? So let me know in the chat what you guys would grade yourself. This is where things start to get a little interesting. Let's check it out. I'm going to give you guys a few moments to let me know in the chat. So Clara says, I actually took the test and received a 64. Okay. Sam says, I'm probably about 50%, but 80 to 100 on profile info on those platforms. Okay. Nice. What about Christy and Sean? I mean, yeah, this is an intimate group, so I'm gonna be calling you guys out by name.
I would say too, Alex, maybe you mention which of those platforms are you guys missing or you don't have filled out information on as well, because we see that a lot with agents. You know, a lot of them are missing their Homes.com platform or YouTube channel set up. So be interesting to see if which one of those platforms are you guys missing altogether.
Yeah, 100%. And Christy says, not sure. Sam says, I don't have Zillow or Homes.com a realtor because I don't sell. Makes complete sense for you. And Claire says, I have 1 out of 10 on Instagram, but I have no Instagram business page. Got you. So we're going to be covering that, which is really important. So after doing, now this number has changed. I'd say we've probably done about 20,000 agents graded. The average grade came back up as a 30. And the reason why the average grade was a 30 were some of these common mistakes. First thing is inconsistent social media and lack of branding. Every social media slot has a little banner space up top. And there are so many agents I look up that have that blank and just have a gray space. And I'm like, what, why would you do this? This is horrible. You want to have some sort of branding that goes along with who you are as a real estate agent. Second one is broken links and outdated info. So with this outdated info, it's pretty crazy. When I do the audits, which we're going to do live today with the hot seat for one of the agents that's on this call, when I do these audits, I'll go on the platforms, whether it be realtor.com or Zillow. And the agents, they tell me, I got 5 sales this year, or I got 8, 10, 12. And I go, man, you're rocking it. That's great. That's awesome. And then I go, let's go check it out. I go on realtor.com. It says you haven't been active transaction wise for 2 years. Or I go on Zillow and it says you have 0. And they go, what? Is this really what's online? I'm like, yeah. So outdated info, broken links. Do your websites have links that are going back to your agent page with Keller Williams so you could capture leads? Or are those links broken? Right? Missing or duplicate profiles. This is a really big one when agents have like 3 Zillows or 2 Realtor.coms or just don't have the profile at all. And the last one is a data not being synchronized. So, you got 5 sales on Zillow, but on Realtor you have 2, and then on Homes you have 0. You want to make sure that your data is the same across the board so that people aren't a little sketched out or have any questions like, oh, did he have this many or that many? What's going on here? You want to make sure everything is clean, easily accessible, makes you look like the realtor people want to work with, makes you look approachable. You want to be that person. And I'm sure most of you guys are in real life, but sadly, your online presence says the same thing about you in today's day and age. And we all know that. People are going to judge you as soon as they meet you, 100%. So, good question is, how do you manage all 8 of these platforms if you don't know what you're looking for, or you don't know the specific data points or all these key factors? Right? If you don't know, you miss opportunities sometimes. Like I mentioned, if you don't have one of these platforms, you don't have the potential to get leads or new business, or you have no presence, and that leads to business lost. So I'm actually going to teach you now what the essential data points and all the important info you need to have on these platforms is by covering the 3 secrets you need to build your presence. And we're going to go over all the platforms really quickly. And the way we're going to do it is by doing the hot seat. So, for the agents that are on live today, I'm going to bring one of you guys into this hot seat. I'm going to ask you to turn on your camera and your audio. I'm going to talk to you, and then we're going to dive right into it. So, if you want to be chose or pick for this hot seat, put your name and cell phone number in the chat, and I'm going to be picking one of you guys. And don't worry if you're not 100%. Trust me, yesterday when I spoke to another Keller Williams office, it was somebody that she's like, yeah, I got 100. She goes, put me in the hot seat. And we found out that she didn't. And she's like, oh, wow, I had no idea. So don't be shy. Don't be too afraid. Just put your name and phone number in the chat, and we'll be bringing somebody onto the hot seat. I'll give you guys a moment to do so.
Yeah, guys, this is a fun part of the presentation. So everybody learns a lot from this. So it's basically, you meet a prospect or a potential client, and the first thing, even a referral, like some agents I talked to, my mom even gave me a referral. The first thing they did was Google me, and they look me up online and look at my platforms. So this is a great learning experience just to see kind of what the first thing they would do in Googling you. And so we do a lot of this with agents and how we grade your online presence. So yeah, definitely don't be shy. Jump in the hot seat. It's fun.
So Clara, Christy, Sean, who's going to be in the hot seat? Let's check it out. Just put your name and phone number in the chat. We can't move forward without anyone in the hot seat, guys. Someone jump in. Clara. Okay, so Clara's in. Gotcha. Awesome. So Clara, I'm going to go ahead and make you a co-host. And just go ahead and turn on your mic and your camera, and we'll get started. Hey, Clara, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So before we get started with the hot seat, tell me a bit about yourself. How long have you been in the industry? What do some of your past clients look like? What would you say your specialties are in the industry?
So I've been in the business for over 6 years and have lived in the area for over 13. So I do Charleston and the surrounding areas. I would say most of my clients are first-time home buyers or those relocating to the area.
Got it. Nice. Great. So let's jump right into it. Let me go ahead and get the ball rolling here. So we're going to start off by just doing a regular Google search, just like anybody else. And I'm going to do it by searching your full name and putting realtor. Okay. Oh, so look, this is a good sign already. I'm starting to see some solid presence. It doesn't mean it's going to be all great, but let's find out. So first thing I noticed for Clara, and for everybody else on the call, you should be checking this out as well, is that she has a Google business page, right? And as I mentioned, this is the first thing that anybody is going to see when they look you up. For Clara's Google business page, it's looking really good. She has her headshot on here, which is fantastic. She has her full name. She has her brokerage. But one little keyword, which is just something small that I would recommend, is putting Clara Lang, realtor at Keller Williams Charleston, right? Just for keyword searchability. And just for clarification for anybody else, not every person knows Keller Williams is a real estate brokerage, right? Besides that, she does have her headshot, which is awesome. She's located in her service area. And this is what I love to see. She has 15 Google reviews. And as I mentioned, it's easy as pie to get these things because they're non-transactional. So for example, I could jump on here for Clara. And since she already has 5 stars, I know I'm not lying when I do this. Give her a 5-star review and go, Clara is a real estate rock star. Let me fix that out too. Boom. So now she just got another 5-star review and a comment with what? 4 seconds. That's how long it took me. So if you guys don't have Google Business and you're a newer agent, you could easily start stacking these up. And it's like you said, I don't even know anything about Clara. And this is the first thing I see. I already feel comfortable, and I felt comfortable enough giving her another 5-star review. So awesome. Let's check out if her website loads. So it is going to her real estate.
Yeah, guys, remember too, when they Google you, that takes up 40% of the page. So if they're just seeing your, search on the left, you want to see that Google business page on the right. So the full screen is filled out, and it's definitely some good marketing for you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's going to be key for all of the agents that are on board the call today. So I clicked on the website for Clara, and it takes me to her agent page with KW, which is exactly where it's supposed to go. And I immediately see her listings. She's making it easy for me so far. So that's great. Awesome. Now we go back here. And okay, so I saw you do have 2 listings, right, Clara?
That's correct.
Gotcha. So one other thing I'm gonna recommend for your Google business page is just how I clicked on your website and I was able to see your listings on your KW agent profile. If you were to scroll down a bit, check this out. You can actually have your active listings through Google Maps directly uploaded onto your page. So you do have 2 listings. Why not have them already directly linked to your awesome Google business profile? So that's what you're going to want to do with them. You can have your active listings and also have the contract signed there. So that's another pointer for your Google business page. All right. Next, we have the realtor.com, which for everybody else on the call who's also tuning in, make sure you're following along through all these important little data points. Realtor.com tends to be the top result whenever I look any real estate agent up. They have really strong searchability. So let's check this out. So on realtor.com, we do see you have an image here, which is solid. What I would recommend is having some sort of branding there, right? Having consistent branding, whether it be something like this, sleek, that has a call to action with your name. You know, if you have your KW logo or your own personal logo, having it in there. And also for everybody on this call, if you need assistance with anything besides me doing the training, we could help you guys out. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll discuss it later. But for now, we'll just continue the training. So yeah, that's the first thing I noticed was the branding. If we keep scrolling, I see you have 17 5-star reviews. Awesome. And you have 9 recommendations. But I have a question for you because I did see a lot of reviews on Google Businesses. Do you have a lot of reviews on Zillow?
I am starting to get more of that.
Gotcha.
Not as many as realtor.com or Google.
Gotcha. So what's cool about Realtor is, I'm not sure if you were aware, is that when you you can actually bring over the reviews and they populate over as recommendations. So like if you were to click on them, it's going to say verified by realtor.com. So if you have reviews existing on other platforms, you can bring them over. Realtor.com is going to make sure it's coming from a credible source, verify that it's real, and then populate it on there. So you can actually stack them up even more than you already have them, based on the other platforms you have reviews on. So let's check out the link to, this should be going to KW agent page. Yep, it goes to your KW agent page. Great. And then I don't see a bio for you. So do you have a bio?
I'm guilty of not having a bio for this.
You have no bio. Well, I'll give you a little pointer on the type of bio you're going to want to have. So remember, having the profiles is one thing and having the data is another, and them being searchable is the third thing. So making your profile more searchable, you're going to want to use keywords that are in regard to the neighborhoods you do business in and your specialties. And you said you work with first-time home buyers. Mm-hmm. So you could, when writing your bio, and I suggest making it maybe about like 3 paragraphs, you're going to want to include key points like, hey, my specialty is working with first-time home buyers. I've worked with first-time home buyers in this neighborhood, that neighborhood, and the following. And I am so familiar with all the lifestyle around these neighborhoods. And if you do that, when people were making searches for like, realtor in XY neighborhood, that keyword is popping up all over your bios. And imagine if you have that bio in all 8 of your platforms, boom, you're getting more eyes on your stuff. So that's important. Besides that, we come here to this section, and this is huge, right? Most realtors do not have their data for the last 24 months available. And this is good for you because you do have it. But I'm going to ask you, what do you say this price range is accurate, this being the low and this being the high for the last 2 years?
I would say that these are based on the active listings I have. They don't show the past listings, so I would say it's inaccurate.
Got it. So yeah, that's something we see pretty often is, people not having a price range or them being a little inaccurate and outdated. So that's something that would want to be fixed. Here you do have your years of experience. This is accurate based on what you told me. And there's actually a bit more room for improvement in your area served. If this is, these are the only neighborhoods you've done business in, that doesn't mean you can't put neighboring ones, right? If someone's making a search in an area and you have an awesome listing and it's close by, it doesn't mean that's not going to be a sale that's worth having, right? You could still change their mind and be like, oh, I didn't think about this neighborhood. I like this opportunity. So having those service areas filled out, like this, and covering more ground and putting neighboring ones is going to be really important. And the next portion is the same thing with specialization. She did a pretty solid job here. She put first time homebuyer, which is definitely something. If you wouldn't have had first time homebuyer, I was like, oh, you're gonna want to put that in there since that's your strong point.
Mhm.
And this is looking pretty solid. And you have your listings available here. Beautiful. So there were a few rooms for improvement here, being branding, bringing over recommendations, getting a 3-paragraph bio in here, updating the price range, and adding the service areas.
Yeah, guys, you can add up to 18 service areas. I think they may be bumping it up to 30 here as well. So if you're willing to take a lead in a town that's right next to your service area, by all means, I would add, stack that up as much as you can, just for the searches that they do in Realtor.com.
So now we move on to her Zillow, which popped up right there. She has 15 sales in the last 12 months. Is that accurate?
For the most part, except for some of the new construction that I can't add because it's syndicated to our MLS, and those builders have not added those sales.
Gotcha. So this is absolutely fantastic. Congrats, Clara. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. Love to see that. And I see you do have 7 5-star reviews here. So like I mentioned, go ahead and scoop those over to Realtor 2 to just boost those up, because it's pretty easy to do so.
Okay.
Right. Again, here you don't have a bio, as I see,
Mhm.
so that's definitely important. And you have your area of focus, and it's really concentrated. So this shows you're an absolute expert in the neighborhoods you do business in, and we love to see it. That's great. And let's check out if you're going back to the agent page. Links look like they're checking out. So links are looking good. I would also, have your LinkedIn and Facebook links available here, right? And add a little more interconnectivity, just so whoever your prospect is able to easily navigate. And you got your reviews here perfectly. And here you have 15 service areas. So adding the service areas you have available here to Realtor is going to be big. Let's keep going. So now we made it to your Facebook business page.
Yeah, I would say too, guys, on Zillow, make sure you check your platforms. Anyone watching the recording as well, because when Zillow became a brokerage, they lost a lot of data. So, and a lot of it didn't update. So we've looked up some top producers, and there's Zillow pays to 0 sales in the last 12 months. So that's not good. So make sure all of your data is up to date on Zillow for sure, because they didn't bring back a lot of the data that got wiped out.
Yep, 1,000%. Yeah, that was a good point to make. So if you're not in the hot seat, just make sure you're following along and checking your profiles too, and seeing, oh, are my sales available? Are my listings here? Are my service areas filled out? Are my transactions available? Am I easily searchable? All these things. So move on to Facebook business here. And the first thing I noticed is this. What is now finding your, or is it like cropped out?
That should be a video,
It's just
not working,
yeah, I'm not
a
sure.
non-working video.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's for the mobile app. It's supposed to it's supposed to link to my mobile app.
Gotcha. So
Mhm.
yeah, the branding definitely could be a nicer branding, because I mean, I'm sure if I did see the video, that'd be awesome. But right now I'm just like now finding you. I'm like, what?
I see.
Yeah. So definitely branding. Might want to find something that's a little less complicated. Maybe, yeah, having videos I've seen get glitched out. That happens pretty often. So just having like a standard image, or a piece of branding
Okay.
is going to be the easier route. Secondly, right, when you see platforms like this, they allow you to put in, instead of just having your name, you can actually adjust your title, which in your case, you have a good title, right? But there's still a tiny bit more room for adding extra keywords. Like I mentioned, you're going to want to add realtor at, Keller Williams, and here you would put Charleston. So even those little keywords, you do have Charleston, there we go. So you would just want to put realtor as well in there,
Mhm.
just to make sure. Secondly, you have your call to action here, going to kw.com, as opposed to having a contact, right? So like, let's say you have somebody that sees this post, right? Or sees a listing you post or a piece of information or an article on your business page, and they're interested in contacting you. This should be a call now button. That's going to help keep the leads hot, get in direct contact with you, and not have to, wait around or anything. They see your post, they're like, oh, that's interesting. Let me call Clara. You would want to have that call now and make things easily accessible. Next, I do see you have the questionnaire box, which is awesome. As what agent, what areas do you serve, schedule of viewing, what properties are available. So that's great. If we come down here, I do see again that you don't have a bio, which is going to be important. Here you can have your bio available, right? So you would have the see more, you'd have your whole bio. And also, secondly, this is another opportunity to do a link stack. So the link stack, you're going to promote all the other platforms. This helps with SEO. So for your platforms to rank on Google higher, and also it gives you the interconnectivity. So this is going to be awesome to make sure that nobody has any hard time finding your platforms. And secondly, imagine if you already got someone intrigued about your services and they go, man, yeah, Clara might be my right realtor. And they're just doing a deep dive, which happens to me all the time. If I'm ever interested on something, I get caught up on it for like 2 hours. So there's an easy way to interconnect everything. And like I mentioned, the more URL or a keyword pops up, the easier it is to search on Google. So doing that link stack is important. So yeah, there's a few other things here: branding, call to action, titling, link stack, and bio for Facebook business. You see, it's a little more detailed than you thought, right?
It is a lot of things I missed that I didn't realize.
Yeah, that tends to happen. So like I mentioned yesterday, I was doing a live training for Keller Williams office, and the lady that was in the hot seat, she's like, I got 100. Don't worry about it. And then when we did it, she was like, oh wow, no way, I had no idea. So it's very thorough. I mean, we spent a long time setting up like this whole blueprint where we do the deep dive to make sure that there's no room for missed opportunity. Like, anyone that has all this filled out, they are getting conversions, they are getting leads, right? So that's the reason we developed that system. Yeah, it's pretty fun to do, especially for someone that like yourself that has definitely, I could tell you spent some time and effort doing this. So you definitely care about it. So you're getting some good info. So LinkedIn, let's check this bad boy out here. So on LinkedIn, we do see you have some branding that's a bit cut out here. You're going to want to have custom branding that fits a little better. And I think I might see your bio for the first time here. So here it says experience realtor. Yeah, so this is like I mentioned, a little short version. I'm assuming. So you want to have one that really, hits home for your potential clients. If I'm a potential client reading this and let's say someone just referred me to you, and I'm getting to know you through your platforms, and I see, oh, I'm a first-time home buyer. Her specialty is first-time home buyers. Oh, I'm considering moving here. Oh, she has this transaction here. So establishing that rapport is really easy to do it when you have a bio, and everybody, especially if you're going to find the right realtor. I mean, how many times do you hear people going, my realtor left me in the dark, I can't believe it, let me go to Yelp and give them a 1-star review, this is horrible. So yeah, all those nightmare realtors that are out there, give a bad rep for realtors. So making yourself presentable, professional, and giving people like that comfort is the main thing here. Okay, so now we've made it to thefamoushomes.com. and on homes.com. So this would be important. Let me go ahead and pull up a good example here. So I did notice you don't have your brokerage immediately associated with your platform. So instead of real estate office, this is like the generic thing it says when you make a profile. This is supposed to say your brokerage. So here you would want to have, Keller Williams Charleston instead of real estate office. And also, it doesn't have your license linked. So you don't have your accolades popping up. So here, right, let me show you where it's supposed to come up. It would have your real estate license. And if you have any accolades, they would be attached to the profile, right? So, if you were ranked as a top producer in your office, or you got some other certification, those would actually be able to be attached once you have your real estate license, because obviously everything's associated with your real estate license. So that's important. Secondly, you also don't have your Keller Williams agent page attached. So there's a view my website button, which I don't have available for you here. Is this the right address for the KW office?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have the address, you just don't have the office. Gotcha. And lastly, you do have a lot of the other platforms available. So you're going to want to sync all the platforms in here. As of right now, you only have the Facebook business, right? Here, look at this. We have a bit of a longer bio here. So here you have a bit of a bio. I'm not sure if you remembered writing this, but maybe you could use this.
I think when I first started.
Yeah, maybe 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe you could use this as like the foundation to get your other one. And this is big. I mean, Josh can also tell you, we have so many realtors that go, man, I'm getting deal after deal from homes.com. It's working out great. They just came out with a new app that makes it very easy for everyone. And you have your listings already associated on here, right? And aesthetically appealing. These listings look really nice and fresh. And homes.com tends to do that. I don't know how they do it, but they always have like the nicest shots for the listings, I think, in my opinion. And yeah, if you have this optimized, it should definitely make it easier to help move these listings here.
Yeah, we find a lot of people like to use the mobile app for homes.com, and they know the listings are going to be on Zillow, Realtor from the MLS, and then homes.com does a great job of updating your listings. If there's a price change or anything like that, I think it's like every hour it updates from the MLS. So definitely good to be on homes.com with a platform there, especially with Zillow becoming a brokerage. A lot of agents are telling their clients search on homes.com, use their app. It's really easy to use.
Exactly. All right. So 2 more pages I'm going to look for real quick is going to be the YouTube channel.
This could be some help.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's not showing up. You might want to try Keller Williams, Clearline Keller Williams YouTube.
Like that?
Maybe.
There we go. I see something. Clara Lang. We made it. We made it. Okay, great. So on YouTube, this is one of my favorite places for generating traffic to all other platforms, or getting your contact form filled out on your agent page through Keller Williams. And I'm going to show you why right now. Is because they allow their branding slot to be a traffic generator. So check this out. If you were to have branding available on your YouTube page, you could put your website, your Facebook business, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. And this last one is something really cool. It's called the Instacart that we made. I'm going to show you guys what it is in specific. It literally puts all who you are as a real estate agent. It puts all your awesomeness into a piece of text technology. You could text and email, and it works as a landing page too, so it's super cool. So yeah, definitely there's a whole lot of opportunity up here for you, branding and traffic generating wise. The content looks awesome. I see a lot of listing content here. Only suggestion I would make is to maybe put a content piece about yourself, right? Just give an introduction, um, and just let people know who you are, right? Talk about your specialties, the service areas, maybe a past listing, cool sale. Um, just be genuine, be transparent. And it's as easy as just setting up your iPhone. Or I don't know if you got these videos professionally done. What were you doing
I
for these?
did. I had them
Nice.
professionally done.
Cool. Awesome. So I see you uploaded one a week ago. So, if you're in contact with these people, maybe get them to do just a quick shot of you sitting down in the interior of one of your listings. That would be really cool. I'd put 1 and 2 together for sure. Awesome.
Yeah, especially since Google owns YouTube, your videos will start showing up in your searches on Google too. That's just starting to happen over the last several months.
1,000%. Yeah, that's huge. So if people were to look up your name, since Josh mentioned, Google does own YouTube now. One of the top results are going to be those videos. So besides having your awesome Google business pop up, at that point, then you would also have a high ranking video and people would just get to know you immediately. So that would be a 1-2 punch right there for you. And last one is Instagram. Let's check this bad boy out.
This is the one I got a 1 on. So I'm not sure why it doesn't show in the Google search, because I do have an Instagram page.
It might be because of searchability, because right now, yeah, it's not popping up for me. What would the name be? Yeah,
I have to look it up. Sorry.
no problem. Yeah, that's probably why you got
Clara,
the one is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Clara Sells Charleston.
That's exactly why right there.
Mm.
That is why. Because that just like the name is catchy and I see names like that all the time, but with that type of name it's not searchable. It doesn't have your full name, right? And also I don't see your full name in the bio either. So even if you had your full name here instead of Charleston SC Keller Williams, that would help searchability wise, because Clara Lang would be associated here. As of right now, I don't see Clara Lang anywhere, which is why you got that scores, because we couldn't find it without you having to tell us.
I see.
Right. And realistically, people should just look you up and everything should be lined up nice and easy, right? So yeah, definitely you're going to want to have Clara Lang in here somewhere so that it's searchable and, not in the dark. Besides that, if I look at the content, I see listing heavy. This is good. I like value providing content. Bit of yourself with happy clients. A little more lifestyle. Good. So a good content mix is gonna have, listings, obviously. It's gonna have lifestyle. So, whether it be restaurants, a nice park, a day at the beach, any of these lifestyle content pieces. And what I always recommend is to have yourself in the shots, because it shows you're actually out there in the neighborhoods you're selling, you're living the lifestyle. So it in and out, especially if, you're focusing on first-time home buyers. They just want the security that they're working with somebody that knows the neighborhood, can, show them around too, because as a realtor, you're not only selling the listings, but you're also selling the lifestyle around it. But I like a lot of this content too. You have a lot of good like client content with smiles, which is fantastic. I love to see that. Great. All right. So you survived the hot seat. How do you feel, Clara?
That was very helpful. Thank you so much.
That was fun, right? It wasn't as scary as it sounds.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, she did great.
No, yeah, you did great. You did good. I could tell. you've invested a decent amount of time in making yourself look like a credible, awesome agent online. So that's something we love to see.
Yeah, I was going to say
Congrats.
the same thing. A lot of agents are just, I mean, they get overwhelmed. Um, that's kind of why we put this whole platform and program together to help agents out. And we've helped almost 4,000 agents out with their online presence so far with this program. So it's awesome.
Yeah, 1,000%. And for the other agents that are still tuned in, I hope you also, thought about your profiles and all those data points as well, and followed along and took all that info in. Because at the end of the day, if you have all of those data points, like you saw, Clara had a good amount of the profiles, but the data within them, there was a lot of stuff that could use optimizing, is going to help you get all those opportunities and be an absolute rock star. So, what we actually did for those that, besides the training, right, go, I don't want to do this myself. I actually just want somebody else to do it, or, help us out. We heard all those agents out and we're like, okay, we're not just going to provide the training. We'll give you guys a specific package. So for Keller Williams agents, we actually made this whole little package called the digital optimization. So those agents that were interested in getting that bulletproof credibility but didn't want to do the work, we could do it for you guys. And we do the whole package. It's all 8 of the platforms. And on top of that, we actually also create the branding. So all those consistent branding slots you saw across the board, we would also do that for you. And we start off by doing your Google business, optimize all the data within the Google business. We attach the Instacard, which is a digital business card that we make for each of the agents. This digital business card has all of your info on it. It has all your socials on it. It has all your listings, listing calculators. You can add to contacts as quick as possible, point of contact, right? Then we'd optimize your Facebook business page. On your Facebook business page, we create your branding, make it searchable, do the link stacks, update all the data. Same thing goes for your Instagram business, your LinkedIn. You would get all your data implemented, your bios, your branding, your associations, your YouTube channel, your homes.com would get optimized, your realtor.com would get all the data points, your credentials, your price range updates, your services, your branding, and your Zillow.com. Right after we finish doing all 8 of your platforms, we put it on this Instacard right here. So this Instacard is going to have your headshot, your title. It's going to have all your contact info. After we make all of your profiles look bulletproof, we go ahead and we load them all on there. And you can text this Instacard to any of your new potential clients, so that instead of giving them any doubt or making it a little difficult for them to get to know you, you go, oh, no worries. Here you go. Shoot them a text, or you could scan it QR code, just like you do at restaurants, now for the menu, and they immediately get to know you. They see all your platforms with all your data, with all your info. Besides being able to shoot it via text to anybody, whether it be your potential clients, you can also email it. So this loads as a landing page as well. So it looks amazing on your cell phone and on desktop. Besides having all your platforms with your awesome information, on this menu, you can actually also put any URL. We load your reviews on here from all your platforms. So if you have awesome reviews, we put them all on there. If you have your listings, we put your listings on there. And there's also a review me button. So instead of having to send people on a wild goose chase, you can use your Instacard and have them just click the review me button and they can pick the platform, right? This digital business card is perfect for getting those Google reviews. And as you see here, right, this review me button allows them to review any of your platforms with ease. And the secret is, obviously, we take care of all of it for you. Like I mentioned, a lot of agents asked us, the trainings are awesome, but can you do it for us, please, please, please? We said, yes, we can. So we made this package for all the agents. As I mentioned, it includes all the platforms we talked about today, all the updated data, the branding, and the digital business card. So the package we made has all of these social media platforms. We also give you guys your own individual success call expert. This is going to be somebody that jumps on a phone call with you, goes, hey, how you doing? What are your specialties? What are your background of your clients? What neighborhoods do you want to grow your business in? He gets to know you. And then after that, he asks you, what do you want for your branding? What do you want aesthetically? Do you want the interior of one of your listings? Do you want a background shot of Charleston? And we put all your data. Do you have a slogan? Do you have a quote you want us to throw in there? So you get your own real estate expert that gets to know you and does all the work for you. Besides getting all 8 of the platforms and the expert coach, as I mentioned, you would also get the digital business card, and we waive the setup fee for Keller Williams agents, and you get 30 days free. But also, since this was an intimate group, I'm going to boost it up to 90 days. We'll give you 3 months for free of the Instacard and all 8 of the platforms. And we actually made a really cool deal for KW agents, since we work with you guys so much, is all this value is prices we've seen online from, all these people that sell the platforms and blah, blah, blah. They don't even work in real estate. We're like, you guys are overpricing everything, right? We shut down all the prices we've seen online. And for KW agents, we made it a $750 one-time investment. So for one payment of $750, you would get all 8 of the platforms. You would get all the data implemented into them. You would get the SEO done on all the platforms, so they're highly searchable. You would get your own real estate tech coach that works directly with you, gets to know you. And then after he gets to know you, you just kick back and relax. You don't have to worry about anything. And he does all the work. And you also get the digital business card that you could send to all your potential clients to go ahead and show them your credibility, show them that you're the right real estate agent. And it's so easy to transfer. Imagine having that influence, at a high level, just shooting out texts, instead of making those cold calls, you could shoot them a picture of your face that they click on, and then they know exactly who you are and what your specialties are. So we're doing all this for KW agents, since they requested it so much, for a one-time payment of $750. So if you're interested on having the entire optimization done for you, I'm going to have Josh put the link with this discounted price we have for KW in the chat. There it is. It says click here to sign up for the 8-site optimization. And it's not free 30 days. I actually am going to give it to you for 90 days. Lynn says, how much will it be per month for the Instacard once the 90 days is up? It's going to be $15 a month. That is if you want to keep the Instacard. If you don't want to keep the Instacard, you don't have a monthly fee. But usually all the KW agents that do get the whole optimization go, wow, we love this thing. I want to keep shooting it out and closing deals off of this. And for 15 bucks, it's a steal, because also it's a landing page. So if you don't have your own personal website, you can send that URL via email and someone ends up on a website that just literally shows exactly who you are step by step. So yeah, awesome.
So I was going to say, especially if you're newer in the industry, this is a great one-time investment to with your marketing budget, just to create your digital footprint, create your digital presence. Then you look awesome online. If somebody Googles you, everything is filled out. The branding looks awesome. And so I've had agents that say they've lost deals because they got Googled and they ended up going up against another agent that just had everything looking great online. So yeah, it's definitely, if you win one deal from this, it's a great investment, especially if you're new, before you spend any money on buying leads or any other things. We know you guys get thrown a lot of things at you to spend your marketing budget on, but this is one that just creates your foundation, make sure you're solid online. And then basically from here, the next step would be just making sure you're posting and being relevant online in Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And that's basically it. The other platforms are, there's no maintenance on those. So, but you can definitely generate new deals and leads from realtor.com and homes.com.
There you go. So question, Clara, did you click on the link? Do you need help with anything in regards to the link? Because once you do click on the link, you're just going to fill out the basic info for the discounted KW price we have for you. And then once you're done, you get a little link where you click on the date and the time you want to meet up with your coach. So he gets to know you and create all your platforms and the branding. So Clara, did you go ahead and click on the link? If you're still with us, I did. Got it. All right. Let me know if you need help. Lynn, also, if you need any help with the link, let me know. Do you guys have any questions? Actually, I could go ahead and promote you to unmute yourself. So Lynn, I just gave you permission to unmute yourself if you have any questions. And Sam, you too. I mean, we talked about some platforms that weren't just real estate related that you could also optimize. Do you have any questions, Sam? No? You're good? Awesome. Lynn, do you have any questions for us or are you good? Because I think it was a great presentation. You guys did awesome. Clara was an amazing hot seat. Sam did a good job at hosting us all. Thank you, Sam. You're a rock star too. And Lynn says, I am good. Wonderful. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. It was my pleasure in working with you, a small, intimate group, which is nice sometimes. And I definitely look forward to coming back around soon, maybe. Sam, I know you guys have, how many agents was it that you have total? Yeah, 177. So imagine we only had 2 people tune in today. So, you know, if I'll give you a ring after the training now, and maybe we could set up a follow-up date, and maybe we could help you market it to get more people tuned in for the training. Because I think, you know, Clara and Lynn were super happy about it. And if you got 177 agents, why not have another training for the rest of them? Sounds like a plan. Got it. Awesome. So thank you everybody for tuning in. You were all awesome. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Sam. And I'll look forward to the next training with you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. All right.